Okay. All right. Now, all of the stuff that we have on the PowerPoint is stuff that is being done in some country somewhere by a private language school who is making money out of it. That was basically our scenario. And this is about now. These are about changes that are impacting in Europe now, that are impacting in Spain now. And the main things that they have in common is that they are high stakes. People's future depends on getting this exam. People's future depends on their ability to be B2. People's future, these are high stakes courses. These are not little general English courses that you turn up on a Wednesday afternoon, right? These are the ones that change your lives. And we think the general rule is the methodology that we have developed is good, and that it may need adapting a bit, but that the content of what we are teaching will have to be changed. Okay? So here's one example in Spain. From when? Selectividad?
Next year.
From next year, Selectividad Oral is going to have to be in English. Now, the value of getting a child through that is huge. And there's no way, really, that most of the state sector are going to be able to do it. Right? It has to be done. And it has to be done in a way that is very specific to the kind of interviews they're going to have, the kind of questions they're going to be asked. You actually have done some of these, and you found the problem wasn't the English, the problem was, in fact, interview techniques in general. And he asked the question to the student, why did you choose this degree course? And he said, well, my mother said it was a good one. You know, which is not going to get you into Complutense, is it? You know, so that's one. That's the next one is? Oh yes, the whole impact of Bologna. You know, at some point, like next Wednesday, they're supposed to be starting to teach 3 subjects in English at university. They're supposed to be writing in English at university, and they're supposed to be reading research papers in English at university. Help! Yeah. Do we think the university system is going to be able to deal with this by next Wednesday? No. Where do you think they're going to come for help? You. Do you think it's going to help if you give them FCE classes? No. Right. Is this high stakes? Is this important to them? Will they pay real money? Yes. We have found in Britain recently, because what you're teaching is English for academic purposes, and it's high stakes because they will not get a good degree unless they get it. My daughter, who is, unsurprisingly, a native speaker of English, is in university in Holland in an English medium degree, and she's coming 6th out of 8 children in academic English. The Dutch are beating her hands down. It's very, very worrying. But, you know, so these we found in England that you can charge pretty much double. The difference between the cost you can charge for an EAP course where you successfully get somebody through is pretty much double the cost what you can charge for the same number of hours of general English. But, yeah, if you fail, if you don't deliver, they will see that. You know, the little mum and dad private language schools round the corner with some native speakers somewhere that they got off a bus, you know, they are not that. They might be able to fool a parent, right, that their child is learning English, but they will not be able to fool. They will not be able to get them into the Selectividad. They will not be able to get their thesis in a decent state. Those things, you have to be good enough to deliver them. There's nowhere to hide. Oh yes, the wonderful teacher qualification B2, right? That's going to keep you going for quite a while, I would have thought. And the good thing we liked quite a lot about it is that the thing that we thought was that one of the great things about the Common European Framework is it has taken away this mishy-mashy, oh, it's intermediate, sort of higher intermediate, even higher intermediate, we've nearly got to advanced. We're in advanced, but the bad news, it's only the beginning of advanced. We've got another 3 stages. That's gone, that's nice. And it also means that people aren't going to necessarily say FCE, they might say Trinity, they may do something else. You know, but the teachers are going to have to improve their qualifications. And it's probably going to be with you. CLIL, right? And I know everybody in Spain says this is a disaster, but however, it is a disaster that Europe wants you to go through. And they have sent a directive out. You think you've got a disaster, the British are a complete mess. We don't have a language teacher to rub together. You know, never mind one who can also teach physics in Spanish. And one of the great things that happens when there is a disaster in the public sector is they all end up in the private sector because their parents are going to pay them, have to pay to get them out of the hole. Yeah, it happened with primary English. This is going to destroy private language schools. They will all learn from the age of 3.5. In their mother's womb, they're doing it apparently in Korea. They send their mothers to language classes. I'm not joking, right? You know, so again, this is fairly high stakes, and it's new kind of content, right? It's not talking about your hobbies for the 957th time. It's not talking about food at A2 level. So we've now reached marinated herrings because we're A2. I think Brussels sprouts turns up in upper intermediate headway. So clearly Brussels sprouts is an intermediate kind of upper intermediate kind of food. So these these are things that are happening now, and they will happen to you. These are coming your way.